Bonjour, it's Tavi from French Speak, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about how to improve your French. I know it's a very big topic, but here are 3 things that I believe you've got to focus on and that I believe I see cause the most improvement in my learners. Number 1 is to understand that language learning isn't linear. You're not going to keep continuously improving at the same level and one day reach your goal. It tends to be through leaps and then some plateaus. What I mean with plateaus is those times when you have to consolidate and practice those areas before you go and add some more French. So think of your French as a leap, then a bit of a plateau, another leap, and a bit of a plateau. It's also very helpful for motivation if you do it like that. Our courses at French Speak are designed in 12-week chunks, and we have the first 5 weeks of lessons, then week 6 is consolidation, another 5 weeks of lessons, and week 12 is consolidation, because we don't want to keep adding 10 weeks of content and at the end have very frazzled and overwhelmed students. So we do a midway break where we consolidate and pause and practice that one. Make sure that it's not just that the students can recognize what they've learned, they can also use it. And then at the end, we do that again. Otherwise, what tends to happen is our reading and our understanding gets so much better, but our speaking and our listening stays here. So we end up having a really imbalance into our French. So these pauses are really key to avoid that. Another thing is to think of your goal and make it much smaller. So you might have a great goal of becoming fluent in French, moving to France, wanting to have a conversation with your in-laws, maybe you have some French family, or having conversation on your travels. What I want you to think of is what can I achieve in the next 90 days? And I really recommend a 90-day sprint. If you really insist, you can do a 6-month one, but I think even then it's so easy to lose momentum and motivation. So 90 days is what I recommend and I do myself. And you're then breaking that down even further. What do I want to do at the end of my 90 days? I've just started a 90-day challenge where I want to be able to have a 15-minute conversation with a native speaker. I'm going to be learning Spanish. So that's my goal. And it sounds so huge, but by having 90 days in mind, I can break that down into 3 monthly chunks and then even further into smaller bits, so I know each week what I need to work on. So your focus could be on, I want to be able to listen to some French and understand more. I want to be understood better, so I'm going to work on my pronunciation. I want to be able to express more things. I'm going to work on my vocabulary. I want to be able to make sentences that match my thoughts more. So you might work on some grammar because you might be limited by what you say at the moment. The syntax, I want to be able to, my French to flow more easily. So I'm going to work on making sentences from scratch more so I become faster at them. Whichever area it is, it's going to be so much easier if you break it into smaller chunks rather than have that big long-term lofty goal. So what are you hoping to achieve in the next 90 days? And then break that down into 3 and then have a focus area. Don't try and do all of them at once. There will be another block of time where you can do that. And finally, commit to a weekly learning routine. That is absolutely key, and that is going to be what makes it a successful project or not, and what will get you to improve your French or not. Sticking to a weekly learning schedule that is realistic for you. So don't set yourself up for failure. Aim small and aim to nail that. So if it's 15 minutes a day, brilliant. But do not think that the next day you can do 30 minutes to make up for the 0 minutes on the Monday. So make sure that you stick to your 15 minutes. It is better to spread it out, because the way the brain works is French is going to sit in a little area, and that's going to be labeled maybe foreign languages, or if it's your first foreign language, maybe just in that box. But you want to be able to access it as quickly as possible. And if you've left it closed for a few days, it's harder for you to go and find that language again. So make sure you open that lid regularly, that part of your brain, even if it's just for 15 minutes thing. I'm gonna be doing 7 days of 30 minutes every day. And to keep it fun, sometimes I'm gonna include a Netflix episode in Spanish or in my target tongue. For you to be French. Sometimes it's going to be some writing, sometimes it's going to be some listening and taking notes from a podcast. So I'm going to keep it varied. It's not going to be 7 days of opening a book and doing grammar exercises, because my goal at the end is a speaking goal. So just align your micro little study sessions to line up with what you're trying to get done at the end. So I hope that was helpful for you. I did want to come on and share these tips to improve your French. And here's to your French, and I'll see you in the next video. Au revoir.